Hello, everybody. I am here live in our Freedom from Inflammation group, and we are talking the Day 4 Water Challenge Q&A. You guys have been posting amazing questions, and importantly, you guys have been showing up in the most incredible way these last 4 days, 5 days if you count day 0. Sharing your inspiration, enthusiasm, taking action, asking questions, posting pictures. You guys have been incredible. So as you join, I'm going to wait a minute for people to hop on. As you join, say hello. The more we comment in the comments, it makes sure everyone can see this post. Even though you're in the group, you don't see all the posts. It's crazy. Facebook is crazy. So Tina, Jan, welcome. So excited you're here. Say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from. Tell me how much water you've drank today. Welcome, Diana. So happy to have you guys. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. Welcome, Don, Sherlyn. Oh, it's so fun to see some of these names. Jan says hi from Colorado. Welcome. Thank you for commenting. You guys are incredible. Seriously, so inspiring. I always tell people that I became a health coach not only to help others, but to inspire. You all inspired me. So it's such an amazing relationship. Pat, welcome. Thank you guys for commenting. Let me know where you're coming in from. Jan says still drinking. I will cheers to that. How much water have you drank today? What is your number? If you guys have finished your gallon, let me know. If you're partway there, let me know. And we are going to get started here in just about 3 seconds after I drink some more water. Tastes so good. Okay, so you guys had an opportunity to post a bunch of questions for this Q&A. If you have questions along the way, very often when you listen, you'll have questions that will be triggered. So don't hesitate to post those in the comment in this live right here. That's fine. Tina says she's coming in from Houston and her 1 gallon's done. Oh, congratulations, Tina. And we will rock and roll here. So Karen and a few of you posted questions a few days ago and I started answering some of them. So I may just cover them again so everyone has an opportunity to hear. Thank you again for saying hello, giving love. I love the hearts. I love the love. Makes it fun, really. Okay, so Karen Phillips says, I didn't do well yesterday, started late, starting on my first quart now. You guys, I'm sure Karen's not alone. Some days you do better than others. Learning how to drink a gallon of water takes a practice. It's a habit. So if you did not nail it on any of the 4 days, including today, that's okay. What's most important is that you are taking a step forward. What we don't want to do is say, I'm a failure, I'm never going to get it, and then put the water away, right? Just keep taking a step forward, whether it's doubling your water or just a little bit more than the day before, or even if it's the same. And if you have a day that's less, try and drink a little bit more the next day. You guys, it's creating awareness about what water does for you. And I'm sure, give me a thumbs up or your favorite emoji in the comments if you guys have had to enhance your awareness, if you've had to create awareness and strategy around when to drink, how much to drink, right? It's in the forefront of your mind. And that's one of the big things that we are doing in this challenge, creating a new habit. New habits take 30 days. I see some thumbs up. Yep. New habits take 30 days to kind of nail, right? To perfect, to make it so that it becomes more of a lifestyle rather than a habit. And so we're on day 4. This is great. We're creating more awareness. There's lots more practice that has to continue in order to make it happen. Oh my goodness. Look at all those emojis and high fives and hearts and funny faces. Okay, so Karen, I hope that helps. And Sandy says, does inflammation shift before it leaves, causing pain to also shift? Ooh, good question. And I think I saw someone right before this ask a question as well. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing more comments. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Christy. Hi, Jan. Thank you guys for joining. So yes, if you are not used to drinking very much water, 2 things have to happen or will happen. Number one, your body has to assimilate. We have to retrain the body and the cells in your body to absorb the water. There's a lot of cells. It's very common in people because a lot of people just don't get enough water. Their cells actually aren't trained to absorb the water. And so that assimilation process takes a little bit of time. For some people, it's a few days. For some people, it could even be 2 weeks, okay? So it is important that if you're having a hard time getting a bunch of water in, or I know a few people, Molly, a few other people said, they chugged a bunch of water and they threw up. That's your body, like, it's so not used to getting very much water. It's like, whoa, that's too much. So just go more slow and steady. Now, the second thing that happens when you do just start increasing your water intake significantly is you're detoxing. You guys, this is the most natural way to detox the body. It's so cool. When you detox, and we'll be talking a little bit more about this, I believe on day 5 or 6, I can't remember, on day 6, I think. When you're detoxing, the symptoms, the chronic symptoms that you experience, for some people exacerbate, they heighten, the symptoms heighten. So if sometimes you get headaches, right? If that's a chronic symptom you may experience, you actually may feel more of a headache during the detox process. Typically, detoxing takes 3 to 5 days, depending on how you're detoxing. This is a more gentle detox for most people, one of the most gentle detoxes that you can do. And also, it doesn't push, like, there's still going to be some stuff that needs to come out, right? So it's a more gentle detox over time. With that said, everyone's unique, everyone's different. If you are experiencing your chronic symptoms that are heightened, if that headache is more intense than it used to be, if the knee pain feels exacerbated, if you used to have bloating as a chronic symptom and now you're even more bloated, it will pass quickly. It will pass within anywhere from 3 days to 10 to 14 days max, okay? That is detoxing. Some of the other signs and symptoms of detoxing are headaches, flu-like symptoms, cold-like symptoms, low energy, irritability, cravings. We'll be talking more about that in my master class on Wednesday, the 28th. More information coming up about that. So yes, definitely. That can be a real sign of detox, Miss Sandy. And I see so many more people joined on. Joan, Darla, Penny, Sharon, Sandy. Oh, you're here. Good. I just answered your question. Rana, Bonnie, Joyce, thank you. Hey, Joyce, so good to see you. I was just talking to her. Okay, next question. Beatrice, 50 ounces down, she says. It's 7:30 a.m. Yay me. Yeah, girl. Nice work. How do you know if you're actually detoxing? I think we just talked about this. What am I supposed to see or feel? Well, I see a reduction in the swelling from the inflammation. What is the time frame to start noticing a difference? I have had chronic inflammation for years. So again, typically, here's the deal. It takes 2 weeks for your body to process the top 6 inflammatory foods, which is processed sugar, wheat, cow dairy, refined oils, GMOs, and alcohol. 2 weeks for your body to push that out. If we increase your water, and that's if you're drinking a good amount of water. So if you are not used to drinking very much water, right now, we're just helping the liver. As you all learned, water is to the liver what gasoline is to the car, right? So you're helping the liver have more energy production to detox more. Some of you, depending on your eating habits, which will be a big topic in the masterclass on Wednesday, the 28th, some of you will have more detoxing taking place more quickly. And if some of you maybe drink a soda every day or still have processed sugar or some of those top inflammatory foods, the detox will happen more slowly when you're drinking water. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. So definitely let me know if that makes sense. Give me a thumbs up. Sorry, I was reading Sandy's comment here, which I'll reread in a second. So that is how you know that, or those are signs and symptoms of detoxing. It can take a couple of weeks and it can be really, really quickly. It depends. Are there environmental toxins in your body? Are there a lot of inflammatory foods. What else are you putting into your body that's causing inflammation? She says, will I see a reduction in the swelling from inflammation? You definitely should, yes. And if we take the next step in the masterclass that's called Feel Better Now on Wednesday, that's going to take you even into the next step of healing. What is the time frame to start noticing a difference? I have had chronic inflammation for years. I think we just talked about that. And you got 100 ounces in by noon. Nice work. Okay, I want to follow up really quickly on Sandy's question. She said, so she's had chronic neck pain primarily on the left side. And yesterday during day 2, it was on both sides of the neck and shoulder pain on her right side, arthritic neck. My superfoods help, but as I age, it's harder. Totally, yes. So you're detoxing, sweetie. And I know, Sandy, you had mentioned that you're not used to drinking a lot of water. You're so good at taking your superfoods and like eating really well. But that water is so important for the inflammation that's stuck in your body. And so as it's coming out, as you're detoxing, again, it will go to the areas you're more susceptible to, which it sounds like your neck and shoulders are one of those areas. It should significantly improve in the next few days. I know you're eating, so it should really improve quickly. Okay, Tina Candelaria, sorry if I said that last name wrong, says, I can chug the water, but I feel waterlogged afterwards. Tina, if you're listening, I want to know if this has changed today. Any tips other than slowing down to minimize the waterlogged feeling? Not really. Slowing down would be that you can drink, instead of chugging a whole water bottle first thing in the morning, like in 32 seconds, like I demonstrated for you guys, do like 1/3 and do it in a minute, and then take a 5-minute break and do another third, and a 5-minute break and another third. You can try that and see if that feels better. The waterlogged feeling will subside. That's part of your body not used to assimilating the water. So within a couple weeks, that should feel really different, maybe even sooner. And then number 2, she says, because I am detoxing, am I more susceptible to getting sick? I woke up this morning feeling like a summer cold was setting in. We just talked about detoxing, and cold-like symptoms, flu-like symptoms are very common. So that's you're actually probably detoxing rather than getting a cold. You're not necessarily more susceptible to getting a cold, just those flu-like symptoms or cold-like symptoms are signs of detoxing. Number 3, I have noticed my hunger level has decreased, but now I'm concerned about my nutrition level. I don't have the best diet yet. What are some good go-to foods to help support this detox phase? Okay, so some people have been saying their hunger level has increased. Most of the people have said their hunger level has decreased. If your hunger level is increasing, more than likely that means your metabolism is firing up and increasing. Inflammation affects our metabolism. It's one of the many things, one of the major components that affects our metabolism. And so if you are pushing out enough inflammation, you're going to begin to increase your metabolism. So those that are getting hungrier, that's why. Those that are less hungry, it's because your blood sugar, you're still detoxing, right? You haven't pushed out enough inflammation yet to see the increase of your metabolism. But one thing that is happening is that your blood sugar is stabilizing. This is true for everyone who's drinking a gallon of water per day. As you all know, water does more than just detox and hydrate. It stabilizes blood sugar levels. It lubricates joints. So one of the reasons you're not as hungry is because your blood sugar level is stabilizing, which means we don't have the cravings or the up and down, like needing carby type foods or really any kind of food. Or I shouldn't say any kind of food, but we don't need as much food because the blood sugar levels are stable. So what are some good go-to foods to help you during this detox phase? We will be talking about that during the master class. So again, the top 6 inflammatory foods we want to stay away from are processed sugar, wheat, cow dairies, refined oils, and GMOs. There's lots of amazing food swaps. If you go on to jennycarhealth.com/freebook, I think it is, or /book. Lisa, if you're listening, will you post that in the comments? And you can download a free copy of this book that gives lots of swaps. And on Wednesday, the 28th, I'll be diving into that. There's also a post I posted today with ionic elements, minerals from Purium, a company called Purium. I also posted the super aminos, which are amazing protein, a super Power Shake that has one shake has 6 organic salads worth of greens. Apothe Cherry, which is so anti-inflammatory, lowers cortisol levels, help you sleep. A Biomedic, which is a supplement, helps with leaky gut. So those are my go-tos to get a lot of nutrition, either if I'm on the go, wanting to detox more, or just don't have a lot of time to get a lot of nutrition in. So check out that post and we can repost it here below. Thank you. And yeah, Joy says, my pain has improved so much since getting rid of the inflammation. Amazing. I've cut in half at one at a time. Good, Tina. Tina, are you still feeling the bloat in your stomach is what I'm curious about. Hi, Donna, welcome. Deb says, do you recommend detox with trying to hit your water target first, or also trying to exclude water, flour, etc. at the same time? I don't think it matters. What's most important is what's not going to make you feel overwhelmed. So you need to do things in an order and a process so that you stick with it. And we're going to talk in a minute about how long you keep drinking this way. I've heard a lot of questions, you guys, but this isn't a challenge to drink water for a little while and then not drink water again. And it's not a challenge. We're not talking about taking out sugar or wheat for a couple of days or a week or two, or the whole 30s, very common 30 days, and then going back to eating pizza and fried foods, right? So we really want to create a method, a process, find the amazing, delicious, tasty foods that are simple and easy to have, free of the inflammatory foods, which we'll dive into more in the masterclass. But that is the goal. Yeah, yes, Sandy. Ionic elements is her favorite. Okay, good. Yes. Okay. Then Christine says, I hope that helped answer your question, Tina. Let me know if you have any follow-ups on that. Krista Ragel says, always have nerve pain and numbness. Yesterday was worst pain I felt in a long time. Yes, you were detoxing. Today, numbness, but no pain. So you're starting to come out of the detox. You're like, you had numbness and pain today. No pain, I guess, but some numbness. You're peeing less frequently, but larger amounts. That's beautiful. That's a great sign that the toxins, that those stuck up concentrated toxins that were going to your bladder and sending signals to your brain to eliminate super quickly, where you would have short eliminations, that's shifting. The concentrated toxins are not showing up in your bladder as much, which is why your bladder can fill up the way it's supposed to, and then send the signal to the brain that it needs to eliminate. So nice work, sister. I'm wondering if the pain yesterday was the last hurrah. I haven't last hurrah in this process, I would imagine. There are many layers to health and healing and detoxing. So I still have hurrahs, so to speak, and I've been doing this for 10 years. But right now in this moment, yeah, I think you got over the hump. You said 121 ounces down, 7 more to go. Also less puffy in the face, loving this, and we'll keep it up. Fabulous. Fabulous. Okay, let's see here. I think there is another. That was one post. We must have had 2 posts with questions. And Lisa, thank you for sending them to me. So let me pull them up on my email. Okay. Michelle, Sheldy Gravely, sorry if I botched that name, says, my question is this: if we are drinking water and nothing else, why would we want to take minerals on top of that? Because if we're not drinking water, does that mean that the pop or coffee or tea had minerals that was good for our body? Great question. No, the pop, coffee, and tea does not have good minerals for your body. It's quite opposite. It's loads of inflammation that make it so that your cells are not able to absorb minerals. You guys, if you have chronic inflammation in your body and you're dealing with these chronic symptoms, if you were to look at your blood under a live blood scope, if you had a live blood analysis done, more than likely your cells, your red blood cells, which are supposed to be like perfect, that's not perfectly round, but they're supposed to be perfectly round and plump, not attached to one another, flowing around. That means that you're hydrated, that they're able to absorb hydration, absorb minerals, and that they're free of toxins. Okay? When we have good cellular health, everything else falls into place. But the majority of the population, if you look at their blood, if you look at their red blood cells, they're deformed. They almost look like stars or just super deformed in all different shapes. They're bound together and they're not moving very well. That's because the toxins inside, the inflammation and toxins inside the red blood cells prevent them from being able to assimilate the water and absorb the minerals, which is why we need, one of the reasons why we need to add extra minerals, because it doesn't naturally absorb as much, so we have to add more. That's one reason. The second reason we need to add more minerals is because when we drink a bunch of water, the water will push out not all of the minerals by any means, but it can push water, it can push minerals out, okay? And you can also lose sodium levels. Sodium is a type of mineral. So the reason you want to add the ionic elements from Purium, which is my favorite, there's other brands you can do, but those is the cleanest, highest quality, is because we're flushing some of the minerals out by drinking as much water, we can replenish it. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, Michelle, if you are listening. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to add about the red blood cell is that our spleen is like a Xerox machine, and it's responsible for replicating red blood cells. On a cellular level, we are either regenerating or degenerating, one or the other. We never stay still. I used to think for years, like, oh, I'm just plugging along with my health. And no, that's not the case. We either regenerate or degenerate. When we're drinking lots of water, when we're pushing out the top 6 inflammatory foods, when we're creating an anti-inflammatory lifestyle that allows us to eliminate inflammation, then our cells regenerate naturally. And when they go through the spleen, on average, every 120 days, it depends for different parts of the body, but on average, every 120 days, the cells are replicated. And they're duplicated. When they go through the spleen, they go through the Xerox machine, and the spleen makes a cell that is exactly the same as the one that just came through. So if a red blood cell is deformed, like I just told you about, if it's not absorbing water, if it's full of toxins, if it's not absorbing minerals, if it's attached to the other red blood cells and it goes to the spleen will make that exact same non-functioning red blood cell. And then it will go through the 120-day process, you guys, as we continue to put more inflammatory and toxic foods into our body, not drinking enough water, being in an inflammatory or environmental toxic state with our thoughts, with our actions, with pollution. There's so many different things that cause inflammation. And during that 120 days, that red blood cell gets even more and more deformed. It absorbs less and less minerals. It absorbs less and less water. This is why we have to put our body, thank you for the love, Richard. This is why we have to put our body into a state of regeneration. The cells must regenerate, and we do that through anti-inflammatory eating, anti-inflammatory living, and drinking a lot of water like you all are doing. So nice work. Okay, I got a little excited about that. It is very an important topic that we understand. Okay, so and then Michelle also says, and another question, after the 60 challenge is over, is it still a good idea for us to keep doing a gallon of water? Yes, thank you for asking this question. Mwah! Love you guys for all the love and likes. Thank you. Or was this just a detox that we should maybe do once every other month? No. So here's the deal, you guys. This is the top 5 places where we receive inflammation. Diet, not enough water, not enough movement, stress, environmental toxins, and lack of sleep is a big one too, really the top 6. Most of us are eating an inflammatory diet, even when we're trying to eat clean and eat well. Even if it's 80-20, we don't realize how much inflammation is going into our body, which is what I teach in my 9-week group coaching program. I teach people how to become renegade researchers and find the things that are hiding, okay? Diet's huge. Not enough water, you guys are learning about right now. Not enough movement. So often we are at our desk. We're sitting at our desk, we're at work, and we're not moving our body enough, right? And when we move our body, our blood circulates, and that helps to push inflammation out. Stress. Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up or a comment or a heart or an emoji or something in the comments if you feel stress in your life. And then give me 2 comments, 2 emojis, 2 hearts, 2 likes if you feel stress on a somewhat daily basis. If the answer is stress, then that is causing chronic inflammation in your body as well. I'm seeing lots of people saying, yes, stress, 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 yes. Okay? Richard's like crying. Environmental toxins. Environmental toxins are things like pathogens, Lyme, bacteria, parasites, viruses, fungus, candida. If you guys know my story, you know I fought all of those. It's also things like pollution, household cleaning products, personal care products, the paint that goes on our walls. All of those create environmental toxins, which then our body turns into inflammation. Sleep. People seem to be more and more sleep deprived as we get going, because when we are inflamed, we don't sleep well. When we are inflamed chronically, we have a very difficult time falling asleep. There's a lot of insomnia that takes place. All of these things cause chronic inflammation. This is why we must support our liver, and water is fuel for our liver in order to properly detox. So drinking a gallon of water is not just for a challenge. It's not just for a detox, so to speak. We need to live a life of detoxing. If you're inundated by any of those top 6 things I just talked about, then we have to constantly support the liver. What happens is these toxins and inflammation come into the body. It goes to the liver, and the liver is in overdrive trying to process the toxins and inflammation. But there's no way it can get to everything, especially if we're not drinking enough. It's like asking your car to go 80 miles an hour down the freeway when it's running on empty. It's just not going to happen. And so all the extra inflammation and toxins that the liver couldn't process, that's where those toxins go to the areas in your body are most susceptible, from genetic predispositions, from overuse, from structural injuries, autoimmune conditions. It's why inflammation looks so different on each person. So yeah, we need to drink this much water every day, as much as we possibly can, to help support the liver so it can process as many of these inflammatory foods. But you guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I love that you all are feeling so much better and you're feeling the detox and you're understanding this. It is the tip of the iceberg. If you really want to push the inflammation out, we have to adopt a way of eating and a way of living that supports this process, which again, I'll dive more into on September 28th, Wednesday, during our masterclass call. And I will post the link to that before we get off this call so you guys can sign up. Yeah, I'm hearing you guys say tons of stress, not enough sleep. Joyce says, I used to feel all those. Joyce did my 9-week group coaching program, and she's lost 35 pounds, you guys. I know she's okay sharing that because she just did a testimonial. She had thyroid disease. I'm trying to remember everything that she had: degenerative disc, chronic pain. She had to go to the chiropractor 3 days a week. Now she has loads of energy. So she's lost 35 pounds. She told me today she hasn't been to the chiropractor in 2 months. Like, amazing what happens when you push the inflammation out in all these different areas. Deb, so we're going to talk more about diet on Wednesday the 28th. But again, you can get a free copy of my book by going to jennycarrhealth.com/book or free book. I can't remember. And you also know, right, that the top 6 inflammatory foods: processed sugar, wheat, refined oils, GMOs, alcohol, and cow dairy. Okay. A few more questions. Can you drink too much water? Yes, you can drink too much water. There is someone posted a great article that says, a really great article. Oh, Joyce says she's lost 37 pounds, not 35. Sorry, my bad. Congratulations, Joyce. We're so excited for you. So someone posted a great article in this group, and I'll try and find it again. But essentially, you can drink too much water, and there have been instances of it killing people. Now, before you guys get all freaked out, let's know the facts, right? The people who have died or been very ill from drinking too much water have drank between 5 and 7 gallons per day. So if we're shooting for 1 gallon, we're probably good. The other common denominator of people who have been seriously injured or died is that they have drank a bunch of water, over 32 ounces, in 1 hour at a time. You guys, I've drinking more than 32 ounces in 1 hour at a time many times. But the reason being is because if they're drinking this much water in short periods of time, or 5 to 7 gallons in a day, they're eliminating so many minerals and so much sodium that it puts their body into a crisis, a medical crisis. So if you're going to drink more than 1.5 gallons of water to 2 gallons of water per day, I highly recommend you take the ionic minerals or a mineral supplement of your choice. If you're going to drink 1 gallon of water every day, I recommend it anyways. Our bodies are so depleted of minerals and trace minerals because the water, or our soil, has been depleted of minerals due to pollution, environmental toxins, due to overuse, right? We're not taking care of our earth, and the minerals in the soil is depleted. So what used to be the mineral content from one bunch of spinach 30 years ago is something like, and now takes something like 10 bunches of spinach for you to get that same amount of minerals. And minerals are a key point, a key component to our overall health and healing. So it does not hurt you ever to take extra trace minerals. Richard says, I've drank too much water before. What happened, Richard, when you drink too much water? And why he's sharing that, Teresa says, is this water consumption safe for someone on dialysis? You have to be more careful if you're on dialysis. So if you have kidney failure, that is the one key component when you are drinking a bunch of water. So you really need to talk to your doctor. Your doctor will probably be more conservative than what I would share, but it's about listening to your body. You want to have as much, ask your doctor, I really want to push inflammation out. What is the most amount of water I can drink to support that process, while also supporting the liver, I'm not sure, liver disease that you likely have if you're doing dialysis. So yes, ask your doctor, and then ask him to monitor you, because you more than likely will see that you're improving. You guys, kidney disease is very tied into inflammation, right? When you're doing dialysis, you're pushing toxins out of your kidneys. So we want to push the inflammation out, and definitely change your diet, Teresa. That's really huge. Okay, so Richard is typing what had happened, and we are going to keep answering these questions. You guys are so great. So I hope that I answered your question, Beatrice. Can you drink too much water? Yes, you can, but you guys are nowhere near the amount of water that you can drink too much of. If you are pregnant, definitely take minerals for sure, because you and the baby need those extra minerals. But again, I recommend it to everyone. So Richard said, I actually started tingling and feeling very lightheaded. Oh, wow. That's interesting. So you got to be careful. Okay. Beatrice, again, it says, oh no, I answered your question there. Other questions. Anna says, it's hard to know about minerals unless you know you already have a dish. Oh, she was wondering, how do you know if you're losing minerals, and what are the intakes for teenagers versus kids under 6 versus her that's 42? Okay, so you don't necessarily know that you're losing too many minerals unless you're doing blood work, which is why it's just great to take the minerals anyways. If you guys don't want to do minerals, you can also do sea salt, or pink Himalayan salt is great. And put that like a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon in a glass of water. It tastes kind of funky, but just drink that once a day, and that will help you get some minerals as well, and sodium, which is important. Again, it doesn't hurt anyone. It will only help you. What are the intakes for teenagers of water versus children under 6? Okay, so it depends. If your children have a chronic symptom, again, the FDA recommends to stay hydrated that you drink 1/2 ounce of water for every pound of your body. So if your teenager weighs 100 pounds, they need to drink at least 50 ounces to stay hydrated. Now, if they have a chronic symptom, I recommend increasing that, and it really depends on the person. And also their body weight. My son, for example, weighs about I think he's about 80 pounds. He's 11 years old, and he drinks around 40 to 50 ounces a day pretty consistently. Okay, so normally if he was 80 pounds, so 40 pounds would be him to stay hydrated. 50 pounds or 50 ounces of water helps him to push out extra inflammation. He also is very, very clean, eats super anti-inflammatory, lives an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, but does have some chronic symptoms from a behavioral condition that's improved a ton, but still a little bit there. My daughter, who is 6 years old, weighs probably 35, 38 pounds, and she will drink closer to anywhere between 17 to 32 ounces depending on the day. If you know that you or your kids have eaten a lot of inflammatory foods or even a little bit, like that's one of the rules in our house. Okay, if you're going to a birthday party and you're choosing to have a piece of birthday cake, we take some specific supplements to upregulate the detox pathways, to bind the toxins. We eat clean protein because that will help ward off cravings that will continue after you've eaten something inflammatory. And we drink extra water. Everyone in the family knows we drink extra water if we've eaten something inflammatory to help push those toxins out. All right, what else? Okay, so someone's saying they've been drinking a gallon of water for a few months. They followed the chapter about water in my book, Piece of Cake. She says she feels great, much improved, but is still super thirsty. Remember, the thirst mechanism activates when we drink a bunch of water. So yes, is that normal? It depends on how dehydrated your body was before. So maybe your body is needing more time to assimilate the water. It could be that it was just so dehydrated. It could be that there's environmental toxins or other toxins causing chronic inflammation, and it just needs more water to keep pushing that out. I really believe that our body we know scientifically, our body has an innate intelligence. It defaults to breathing so we can stay alive, whether we're asleep or awake, right? It keeps the heart pounding no matter what. Our body is programmed to survive. So if your body's telling you it's thirsty, then drink more water. A couple people made a comment saying, one of the symptoms of diabetes is that you suddenly get really thirsty. Now, if you've been really thirsty for months, more than likely that's not a diabetic onset. It typically happens more quickly. But if all of a sudden you're super, super thirsty and it's going like that for a few days, definitely get it checked. It never hurts to get it checked, anyone. You can do a simple A1C test. Okay. Someone says, okay. Someone says that they drink a gallon of tea a day instead of water and 1 soda. And the sweetener is plant-based. It's decaf tea, but not organic. So you guys, if you are drinking anything other than organic herbal tea with 0 fillers, 0 sweeteners, then it does not count as water. So what you want to do is you want to swap that. You want to drink a gallon of water and then have, instead of your soda, have your decaf tea with your plant-based sweetener. And hopefully the plant-based sweetener is liquid stevia or monk fruit, because there's a lot of plant-based sweeteners that are processed sugar, like organic cane sugar, for example, brown rice syrup. There's so many plant-based sweeteners, which are the #1 most inflammatory food you can put into your body. Again, we'll dive into that on Wednesday the 28th during the masterclass, Feel Better Now. But that's what you want to do, Sue. Okay. Just scrolling down here, seeing what we haven't already answered. We talked about what happens while you're not eating, in the way you may not be as hungry. Is it something you maintain? We talked about that. Okay, Kelly, I think I helped you get a good You said, I'm also wondering how long the water drinking needs to be maintained. We answered that. I'm on this journey with my son who has issues with inflammation. Thank you for the likes, Richard. He's 12 years old, 65 pounds, and we've been having him drink his body weight in water each day, as well as eliminating processed and refined sugar. You are the best mama ever. Mwah! Hugs and kisses to you for doing that. So good. We've seen improvement in his symptoms already, you guys. This is amazing. Not completely gone, but definitely better. Yes, it takes some time. We are going to be on this path forever. My goal was to avoid colonoscopy, endoscopy for him. Doctors have not been helpful. It is amazing to me that they've never asked what my son was eating or drinking. They only wanted to schedule a procedure to figure out how to help him. Yeah. You guys, doctors, they have like took a quick, most doctors, not all, but most doctors took a quick nutrition class. And unless they're cutting edge, they don't understand inflammation and how innately it ties to our diet and lifestyle, and also what foods really to take out. We're not looking at the standard pyramid. We're not even looking at eating a bunch more greens and then still having your chocolate cake, right? We really have to learn which foods do we need to swap out. When it comes to water, so if he's 65 pounds, you want him to be drinking at least, we'll say at least 35 ounces of water per day. And I would probably have him drink closer to 50 ounces of water per day if he has chronic symptoms. And then he's taking out the sugar. Yes, it is a forever thing. If he eats some processed sugar or refined sugar, you'll probably see his symptoms exacerbate. But if he's been eating really clean for a long time and drinking a lot of water, he'll recover way more quickly than before. Okay. And again, I explained why we have to keep drinking this amount of water on a daily basis. There's a lot of things that cause toxins and inflammation. But nice work, Mama. And Antol says, I've been adding some organic matcha tea powder to my filtered water. Any issues with that? As long as there's no fillers, nothing else than just organic, herbal matcha, no fillers. So make sure. Also, she says, are you going to post a link for the ionic elements? Is this something we should always add to our gallon of water? So yes, you guys, in case you missed it, you can Google in the search box, or not Google, in the search box of our group, ionic elements, IONIC. I'll type it here. Ionic elements, minerals. You could also just Google and Purium. If you put all of those, then you will see the post that comes up, and that gives you the link to get those minerals. Also, you guys, if you go to that link, you get $50 off your first purchase through Purium of $75 or more. I think the ionic elements are around $45. So you have to purchase something else, and I gave you a bunch of ideas that will help with detoxing that you could purchase, or you could just get 2 ionic elements. You kind of get one for the price of, or 2 for the price of 1. So good deal. Okay. Anne says, have you heard about the Berkeley water filter? I have not. There's a filter called Aqualive. I'm working on getting you all a discount for the Aqualive. It's my favorite water filter. I have it in my house. It's reverse osmosis and remineralizer, and it realigns the water molecules so that your cells, it can go through the cell membrane and be more easily absorbed, which is a big common conversation we've been talking about this week. So I'm working on getting that to you. Hopefully I'll have it for you by day 6, but if not, soon after. Okay, Rana says, how long does it take your body to fully expel all this water I'm drinking? I seem to be gaining weight instead of losing it. Okay, so if you're gaining weight instead of losing, then your body just, again, isn't assimilating. It's not absorbing the water yet. So it's coming on into your body. It doesn't know what to do with it. It's kind of just hanging out, right? And then you're going to eliminate it. That's why you're gaining weight right now. But what will happen within the next couple weeks, if not sooner, is that your cells will begin, you're training your cells to absorb the water. And we have to get the inflammation and the toxins out of the cells to support that process. Again, diet and lifestyle are huge. So be sure to join the Wednesday class. Feel better now. We'll talk all about that. Marilyn, you had the same question. Vanessa says, I have found that during this winter, I wasn't successful because I get very cold drinking room temperature water, especially 40 ounces. I'm so glad you asked this question, Vanessa. Do you have any suggestions for how to overcome that? I have your book and I haven't passed the water intake yet completely. I keep trying, and this is my first time being consistent. Nice work, sister. I also noticed yesterday, the third day, I wasn't successful drinking a gallon. I only had 80 ounces, which is amazing still. Yesterday, because of time and work schedule. Therefore, I woke up extra early today to manage the gallon. Thanks for your support. Have a great day. Yes, you guys, did you hear that? She woke up early to make sure she could get her gallon in because she knew she was having a busy day. This is what I do every single day. If I'm traveling, if I have a busy day, if I'm presenting, if I have clients back to back, drink more water first thing in the morning. Make it happen. And you will absolutely continue to push that inflammation out when you do that. What about in the winter when it's cold? Right now I'm like so hot in my office. It's still summertime here, but when it gets cold, or even in the morning time where I live, it's getting chilly in the morning, I will, excuse me, I'll get my water bottle, or I have a mason jar that's like a glass jar. I'll fill it halfway up with hot water and the other half up with cold water. It tends to make the perfect temperature. I love to put a lemon in it. You guys, warm water first thing in the morning with a fresh squeezed lemon. It alkalinizes the body and cleanses the blood. So it's such a great way to get warm water, not hot like tea that you have to sip on. It's just the perfect, it's warmer than room temperature. It's the perfect temperature to drink quickly. And you can do that all throughout the day. If you have one of these water bottles, like this hydro flask, it will keep your water cold in the summer and warm in the winter. So I will do tea or just warm water all throughout the winter time. In fact, speaking of hydro flasks, on day 7, we are having a bonus Facebook Live, and I will be giving away autographed copies of my book, Piece of Cake. I'll be giving away some hydro flasks and all kinds of cool prizes. So you guys, day 7, an email will come out. It's a bonus day with awesome information. So make sure you join that fun prize giveaway. Okay, Michelle, I think we talked. Michelle McGleenan says, what about water intake for children? What is the best amount? We already talked about that. Is it common to not be thirsty, but to have a dry mouth when drinking so much water? I guess I always assume the two when, like, if my mouth is dry, I feel like that means I'm thirsty, but I get a dry mouth when I'm drinking a bunch of water. I think that is your thirst mechanism kicking in. Deborah Bolan says, hi, I've started my day today with 48 ounces, but I've gained 3 pounds since I began the challenge. Yep, we talked about it just a few minutes ago. I'm sure you heard the answer. That will change very quickly. Don't worry, stick with it. Janet says, can you alternate water and mineral water? This way you're getting some minerals in you that you may be losing or peeing so much. Totally, you can definitely do that. Colleen McClellan Spot says, do I need to drink more than a gallon on days I drink coffee or regular tea since they deplete the body of water? If you can get a gallon of water in and you're having your cup of coffee, that's great. If your body says you're thirsty, then drink more. Listen to the body, but at least get that gallon in. And you guys, fun fact about coffee, it's the most pesticide-laden drink out there. Pesticide-laden. If you're drinking coffee, please, please, please drink organic coffee. I beg of you. And then we want to start swapping out the sugar and cream for the non-inflammatory options. So do like a coconut sugar, or there's a new company called Malk, M-A-L-K, that has oat milk and sprouted nut milk with 0 preservatives. A lot of that stuff in the cartons that you get is full of sugars and fillers and other inflammatory ingredients. So just really be mindful. Again, more on that on Wednesday the 28th, but be mindful of what we're putting into our body. Jan Trenmol says, can we use lemon essential oil in our water? Yeah, you guys, if it's a really high quality essential oil, and I don't know all of them, I think doTERRA and Young Living have food grade, therapeutic grade essential oil. You can put the lemon in there. Joy says, good job for the hot water. Joy says, I want those water bottles. Yes, awesome. And prizes, again, day 7, lots of prizes we're giving out in the Facebook Live, so make sure you join. Joyce loves the hydro water bottles. I do too. Yeah, I love that tip. Joyce says, I drink 32 ounces of water first before you have your coffee. You guys, if you don't drink your water before you have your coffee, chances are you will not get it all in because we sip on our coffee or our tea and we take time. And so you really want to get that water in first and then enjoy sipping. That's fine. Sip on your coffee or tea, but get the water in first. Otherwise, it's really easy to get behind in the day. Okay, just a few more. I'm going to go about 10 more minutes, and then we are going to call it good. This has been an amazing Q&A, you guys. If you're still here, comment below, say still here. I want to see all the people that are rocking it to the very end. Maybe I'll do a special, put you in for a special prize. Let me know if you're still here, comment below. Okay, a few more questions. Any pros or cons to drinking water with ice cubes? I make my own iced tea cubes using filtered water and a little organic matcha green tea powder. This morning I did my first 40 ounces with just plain water, no cubes, and it seemed to take longer to get down. I also have a friend that believes cold water is not good for you, so she only drinks hot water with lemon. We debate this from time to time. All right, you guys, here's the deal. Oh, there's still some people here. Joyce is here. Richard's here. Joy is here. Anne, Jan, Joyce, Tina, Terry, Sharon. If you guys are here, comment below. I'll put you in for an extra drawing. Win a cool prize. Nice work to stay to the end. Okay, so yeah, this is one of the nuanced things about water. There are some people that will say if you drink cold ice water that your body will not absorb it as easily. I think that generally speaking, room temperature water is more easily absorbed, but it is a nuance. It is something that really is not going to make or break it. It's not going to define success or failure. What will define success or failure is whether or not you drink that gallon of water or not. So don't let it, the nuances, the mindset things about like, it's cold so I shouldn't drink it, or it's hot so I shouldn't drink it, or even it's not filtered so I shouldn't drink it. Drink it anyways, right? Do your best when you can. Drink it anyways. Do not let these little mindset things get in the way of you guys succeeding to get the inflammation out. Such a good question. Thank you. I've heard putting lemon water in your water is too acidic for your teeth enamel over time. Other than flavoring the water, do you see some added benefit that offsets the enamel issue? For sure. It's super alkalinizing and cleanses the blood. Just brush your teeth right afterwards if you're really worried about that. How on earth can you manage large water intake on a travel day that includes a long plane ride? Given the uncertainties of being able to go when the urge hits, I have always found this to be a challenge, so tend to barely drink until I've gotten to my final destination. Yeah, what I do is I drink extra. This one's a 40 ouncer. I'll drink at least one of these, and I try to often drink like 2 32-ounce water bottles. Again, I will wake up early on travel days, get my 32 ounces in first thing, and then while I'm driving to the airport or right before, chug another 32 ounces in. If you chug it quickly, then you're going to more than likely have to pee kind of at the same time versus having to urinate a lot kind of throughout the day. So chug it quickly, and then you'll have a long pee once all this inflammation once the concentrated toxins have goodness, I'm getting tongue-tied, have left your bladder, right? As you guys are starting to experience that now by drinking enough water consistently. So drink a bunch of water first thing in the morning, go to the bathroom before you leave. On the way to the airport, drink a bunch. When you get to the airport, go to the bathroom again before you go through security. And then when you get to your location, or even like when you're landing on the airplane and you know you're going to be at an airport, chug a bunch then. And then go to the bathroom before you board your next plane. Really think about, you have to like think about, how do I strategize? And actually that's what tomorrow is all about. So good question. Someone says, I've always heard looking at your urine color is a good indicator of your hydration status. It should almost be colorless if you're fully hydrated. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it should be more colorless, very yellow, very light yellow or clear if you're drinking a bunch of water. If you're having a bunch of minerals, if you're taking a bunch of minerals or vitamins, it will be a darker yellow color. You can drink a gallon of water and take a bunch of vitamins, B complex, for example, and your pee will be more yellow. That doesn't mean you're not hydrated. So there are some variations for that, but good question. How does sweating while exercising and drinking 1 gallon of water relate to each other for releasing toxins? Sweating, peeing, breathing. Those are the top 3 methods to push inflammation from your body. So when you take long, deep exhales, if anyone ever does any deep breathing or meditation, like breathe for 3 seconds, hold it, and breathe out for 6. A long, deep exhale will help push out toxins and inflammation. Sweating definitely pushes out toxins and inflammation. It's just difficult to exercise and sweat all day long, right? So we can drink all day long. If you sweat a ton, if you're an endurance athlete or you live in the South or somewhere where it's really, really hot, you're sweating a ton, then you want to drink more water to stay hydrated. And you also want to make sure you're using the mineral drops or the sea salt for sure, because you're losing more sodium through your salt. Okay, you guys. Yes, that is it. I think I answered every single question. Whew. So nice work. I am so pumped. So many of you are still here. Let me see if anyone just commented some. Richard says, Jenny, have them try slice water and cucumber infused in there. Oh yeah, you guys could slice up some water and cucumbers and put it, you could like put it in this, or mint is really good, and just put a bunch in the water and let it naturally infuse, and you will have some delicious water. Oh, Darla says, what about drinking raw honey, apple cider vinegar, tea, and hot water? Apple cider vinegar is super alkalinizing. That is great for you. I'm not sure if you're saying combining all of these as one tea, Darla. I'm not sure. But apple cider vinegar is great for you. Lemon is great for you. Oh, I guess you're not asking about that. Raw honey, it has to be raw. Raw means it's unprocessed, it's unfiltered, it's never been heated. Raw honey is good for you. And so if you put all of those together to make a tea, that's awesome. Or if you have them separately, that's great too. Joy says, question, I work out every day pretty intensively. I've added about 32 ounces to my normal water intake. Is that too much or should I add more? It's so hard for me to know because I don't know like how much sweat you're actually perspiring, but that's probably good. Listen to your body. If you're more thirsty, drink more. If you're not, don't. But do add the minerals, please, Joy, if you're working out intensely. Nadine, is a lemon squeeze in or just in a glass? I squeeze the lemon into the water and drink it that way. It's also good cold. All right, Deb is still here. Michelle and Janet, Mary, Christy, Joan, lots of Jones, Luann, Pat, Darla, thank you for still being here. Joy, Shannon, Terry, Tina, Joyce, Jan, Ann, Richard, so many of you guys are still here. I'm super, super stoked. That is it. That was like our super Q&A. I'm so jazzed. This is along with eating clean too. Yes. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, so 2 important things. On Wednesday, jennycarhealth.com, on Wednesday the 28th, /class is the master class. I'm typing this into the comments. Feel better now, so thank you for your patience. There is a link that I put here. Richard says, don't leave. You're welcome, Rana. Thank you for showing up. There is a master class called Feel Better Now. We're going to be talking more about food, anti-inflammatory eating, and living, happening Wednesday, the 28th of August, which is next Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. What is that? 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Sign up for the class now. You must register to attend, and it is going to be phenomenal. And then also remember, those of you in the water challenge, which is all of you, on day 7 of the challenge, which is in 3 days from now, I will be doing another Facebook Live with lots of giveaways and some fun surprises. So be sure to join me. I will send emails out for all of that. Richard says, encore. My encore is that I love you all, and I'm so inspired. I'm so excited. You guys have been showing up, doing an amazing job, and I am really, really honored to have you in this community. Please invite your friends to join, and invite your friends into the Freedom from Inflammation group. Share the link to Piece of Cake, and www.jennycarhealth.com/free book, and you guys will spread the love, right? Help people heal. It's what it's all about. Okay, have a fabulous day. Keep it up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.